Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
Return to the planet of the apes.
Welcome to another episode of Go Ape Podcast. I'm your host, Jon Randall. With me as always,
I'm Brandon Geringer.
Hello, Brandon.
Hello, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm doing well. Congratulations to us both, Brandon.
Why is that?
25th episode. We've done 25 episodes.
I thought this was 26.
Technically it is, if you count our episode zero intro episode. But 25 episodes focusing on Planet of the Apes now.
Wait until we're about to celebrate the 100th. That's going to be something else.
We don't have enough to fill that.
Yeah, we do. We got tons. Go Ape Podcast 2.0.
But there's only like 12 episodes of the cartoon left.
Go Ape.
Right? 12 episodes of the cartoon left.
Yeah, and then we've got the movies and everything else.
We're canceled after the cartoon.
No. We're doing good.
Podcast is over. Sorry, guys.
I thought we were doing TMNT.
Like this, Joe, Trey. Sorry. Rip. Go Ape Podcast.
Rick Crespo.
Has he talked to us ever?
Who, Rick Crespo?
Yes.
No.
He isn't. Yeah.
He
quit listening on like episode 6.
He's in a Soviet gulag. I'm pretty
Jared, but Jared won't hear this till like a month later.
Probably so. Hey, he's still listening though. He's catching up. He's catching up.
He's behind.
But then we've got TMNT.
Okay.
That's going to be your choices to do, and then I'll do the choice of a stretch of movies.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then you back and forward.
Oh, so we're going to pick franchises.
Yeah, let's do that.
So I can force you to watch things you don't want to see.
And I can do the same to you.
I'm trying to think of a franchise you would pick I have no desire to see.
Probably nothing. There's nothing that... I mean, what franchise would you pick?
I don't know, but I can't wait I can't wait till we get to the Pumpkinhead franchise.
I like Pumpkinhead. I always have. I don't know how many Pumpkinheads they've made, but
27.
I think I've seen the first. I know I've seen the first
one.
What
if we did Halloween? Halloween franchise.
It's not great.
At some point in time, I don't know where, but Busta Rhymes is somewhere in there.
In the Halloween franchise?
Yeah, he's in one of those movies.
That's terrible.
Just want you to know
That's terrible.
We're not going to watch Halloween, so I wouldn't worry about it.
What about Friday the 13th? That's a lot of movies.
Well, they're not really awful until we get Jason in space.
Well, no, when he goes to New York, it's pretty bad. Remember him punching that dude's head off?
He does punch somebody through the head.
That was just like, how should we have him kill him? Just punch his head off.
It's Jason Goes to Manhattan, Part 8.
That's terrible. Are we going to do Police Academy?
Yes.
So we'll finally get to see that.
Except we're gonna change it so it's tolerable. We're gonna call it the Gutenberg franchise. So we only have to watch like the first 3.
That's not bad. The Goot. I can work with that. I think right after your TMNT movies, all 5 of them. Is that correct? Or 6? With the new one.
2, 3, 4. With the new one would be 5.
5.
And I'm thinking about throwing in the Turtles Forever, which is a cartoon, but it's good. So that would be 6.
And then I'm going to do Cocoon 1 and 2. That'll be the
Cocoon. Only 2 movies.
The Cocoon franchise.
I'm going to do the Batteries Not Included franchise. There's only one.
That movie's garbage.
Batteries Not Included is terrible.
Wait, that's really bad.
I just wanted to throw it out there because I knew it would upset you.
Well, wait till we do Free Jack, because we're going to do single movies too, obviously. Free Jack will be a movie.
Well, we could call that the blue screen franchise. Put that in T2 together.
We're going to do Blade Runner?
Rear screen projection franchise.
That's true.
With all 8 versions of Blade Runner?
Yep.
Like this
in one episode.
This one had 6 extra seconds in it.
Wow.
Cliff would have been good for that.
Yeah.
That was his movie. He probably could tell you the difference between all of them.
Yeah, he liked his Blade Runner.
Blade Runner's garbage, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not a good film.
Well, I need to see it again. I haven't seen it in a very long time. I remember when I was younger and I watched it, I thought it was doo-doo.
I hated it when I was younger. The last time I probably watched it, I'd probably say I was maybe 16, 17 years old.
I mean, I need to see it.
That's a long time ago, but I can't imagine it got better.
I'm co-host of the #1 Planet of the Apes podcast now.
In the universe.
In the universe, yeah. I mean, I'm living large, so my views have changed. I'm aged like a fine wine now, so maybe I can suckle out the sweetness that is Blade Runner. We can do Jurassic Park movies.
Yes, we'll time it out to go see Jurassic World this summer.
That's correct. So Go Ape Podcast 2.0's got a lot of stuff on the horizon.
Jurassic World has Star-Lord.
Oh yeah, it does. It's pretty.
And he's got a posse of raptors.
God, are we gonna do the Marvel movies?
I'd rather not.
This will be way down the line.
Well, where do we start? Do we go all the way back with Marvel movies to start with like
Iron Man,
Barbed Wire?
Well, no. What is it called? Like whatever one. They've got like these names for these Marvel movies.
I think they're just like Wave 1, Wave 2.
Waves.
I think they would. I think the modern Marvel era started with Iron Man.
Iron Man. We'll watch Iron Man.
But see, that means we have to watch Iron Man 3, which I'd rather never do again for the rest of my life.
It's pretty bad.
It's a terrible film, and anybody out there who disagrees with me, go to hell.
Pretty right on the mark there with that, aren't you?
Yep. Real bad. Well, I like Iron Man in my Iron Man films, so you don't get that with Iron Man 3. I defy anyone to prove differently.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to sit through Thor again.
I'll have to stay awake for Thor 2.
Yeah, you had a problem with that, with Thor 2.
I slept right through that movie.
I'm
an old man.
I'm older.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, but...
You're kept young by your children.
That's true. And my zest for life.
Mm-hmm.
Spark's gone out on you long ago.
Yep.
Your candle burned out long before.
I want you to sing that at my funeral.
Is it Elton John?
You
know what I am going to put on your...
Joe, Rick, Trey...
They're all there?
Jared, all pallbearers, while you're singing Candle in the Wind.
And then they have to sing Dust in the Wind.
You guys might want to take some steroids to be able to lift me in that coffin, because it's going to be heavy. I'm a fat guy.
And then on your tombstone, not pepperoni is going to be written on there. What do you want on your tombstone? I'm going to put, it's just juice. That's what I'm going to put on your tombstone. It's just juice.
Mm-hmm. Is that good?
What should be on your tombstone?
No solid loaves.
No solid loaves on your tombstone.
That's what I want on my tombstone.
It says Jon Randall, no solid loaves. No years or anything.
I tell you this though, my funeral though, honestly, my funeral,
right?
It's going to be catered. Okay,
who's catering this shit? You better save some money.
It doesn't matter.
I ain't paying for this.
It doesn't matter. But I said I want a party sub at my funeral. I want people to really live it up, have a good time.
Where are you getting this party sub?
Where's a good place to get a party sub anymore?
Jimmy John's does them. In Subway's the cream of the crop of subs.
Well, then we do Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's party subs.
Everybody does them, I think.
Jimmy John's party subs. There'll be. It's going to be a t-shirt jeans affair. My funeral. Nobody's allowed to wear suits there.
I'm a bow tie.
No bow ties.
Okay.
Yeah. So there we go.
And then any music going to be played? This is your will. In essence, you're making your will right now on the podcast.
Live. I don't know. I'll come up with something. What do you want in my house? What do you want when I go? If you could have one item I own, what would it be?
I'll take your TMNT number 1, of course.
That's what you want?
It's worth
that has no meaning to you.
But it's worth the most thing of anything.
It is worth the most money, but if you're not having that. And secondly, nah, man, you got to take something that has meaning to you.
The only thing that has meaning to me from you is you, Jonathan.
I thought you would have said the Dungeons and Dragons arcade.
I was thinking about that, but it's very heavy. I don't know how to get out of here. That's going to be a real effort.
Well, me and a couple people got it in. You just need a couple of guys.
That's true. It would be pretty nice to have. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. He'll be in the grave soon, apparently, is what he's saying.
You never know.
Well, with the amount of chili he just ate, he just put down about 6 or 7 pounds of chili.
Well, the problem is this. I made some chili that, in retrospect, when looking at the recipe, the guy did say he makes this chili before he goes tailgating. So it does make like 16 servings of chili. I ate about 2 of them before you came over today. I was instantly miserable with how much food I consumed.
And the house reeks of chili.
Well,
chili, and I believe it was probably chili farts, but he says no, those will probably come later.
They will come later. We'll at your house.
Yeah, I'll endure those later.
Yeah.
When you'll be frapping out those chili farts.
There's 3 pounds of meat in that chili I made. I had a pound of hamburger meat. It was supposed to have 2 pounds of hamburger meat and a pound of Italian sausage. I went pound of hamburger, 1 pound of sweet Italian sausage, and 1 pound of turkey is what I did in that. And there's bacon in it.
And beans.
And some chicken stock. So...
And you had to prep it, right? I believe there was prepping involved.
There was prepping involved. I had to cut up a green bell pepper, a red bell pepper, some celery, some onions.
Got the knife out.
So...
Well, what's going on? Anything else going on this week with you? Or we had some nice weather down here.
Very cold.
Very cold weather.
Had to have a guy come out and look at my heat yesterday.
Was it busted?
Yep. Turns out the reason my house gets cold at night is
no heat.
the circuit breakers that are on the outside heat vac that actually control the heat coil had tripped. So the heat had not been working. And God knows when the last time it was working, because as soon as we flipped those circuits and I came here and turned the heat up, you could see, you could smell like it burning off all that dust, that it gets.
Yeah.
So good news is heat works again. I don't know the last time it didn't work. So who knows when those circuits got tripped.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
There was something you were going to bring up to me live on the podcast.
They said that they're going to split, possibly the rumor is they're going to split Batman versus Superman into 2 movies, so that we'll get a Batman-Superman movie this year is the new rumor. At the end of the year, we're going to get a Batman versus Superman part of it.
Honestly,
because they pushed it back, and they're thinking about
pushed it back to when?
2016. It was supposed to come out.
Yeah, I knew
this
that.
year. It was supposed to come out this year.
But here's my thing: if you're going to split it in half and only give us the first half by like December, then just wait. You might as well. I can wait. I can wait.
Than that, maybe.
I can wait like 4 more months and get into 2016, like the spring of 2016, and just watch it then.
Well, let me get on the information superhighway real quick.
Okay.
And
some call it the interwebs.
Yeah, the interwebs. I'm surfing the web.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have to look here, but I mean, I'm okay with it because I thought 2016 was just absolutely outrageous to have to wait that long. That was, of course, back last year, back in 2014, and I thought it was coming out.
Yeah, it's 2015, bro.
October 23rd
of this year.
Yeah,
I just don't know if I care.
And it's going to be split into 2 films, with the first installment entitled "Enter the Night." K-N-I-G-H-T.
The Dark Knight.
Yep. It's a rumor.
I call it Enter the Affleck.
And then the second one will be called Dawn of Justice, and that one's going to come out fairly shortly after.
And that one's actually called Dawn of Batfleck. So
true.
Enter the Affleck and then Dawn of Batfleck.
March of 2016, so not too long. October and March. Hey, whatever. I mean, if it's going to work out, I just hope the first one has an actual cool ending. You know how much money it's going to make if the first one's really good?
What if it bombs terribly and they don't get to release the second one? Like Battlefield Earth.
That'd be great, man. Well, Battlefield Earth, I mean, they're making this, so, I mean, they've already made a lot of it, but I don't know. We'll see, man. Should be interesting. I want to see a big, long trailer for it, though. That's what I want to see.
Well, I hate that director, Zac Efron, so I don't know what to think about it.
Zac Efron? Oh, John.
Isn't that who he's directed?
Zack Snyder is directing it.
I got my Zacks confused.
Not the High School Musical
sorry.
Singer, dancer.
My bad. My B.
Dude. Zac Efron.
My B.
Who's going to play probably, a superhero in the reboot down the road. What is that?
Nothing.
Jonathan's done. He's always... This chili's really gone to his head. I'm going to tell you all that now. This guy is high on something. He's high on...
I made a lot of chili. It's a lot.
How many days are you going to be eating that chili? It's a lot of fart. Dude, after like 2 days, just straight meat chili farts. That's all I'd be doing, dude. I mean, I would be stinking everybody out of the house.
Well, I'm thinking... Well, luckily I live alone.
He's a loser.
What I was thinking was, how long can that stay good for? I gotta really wolf it down, like in the next probably 3 days.
Why did you do this?
I don't know.
How much did this cost?
I sat down earlier with the receipt to figure out what I spent on just the ingredients for the chili. That's like a $40 chili. $40.
So stupid.
So
you've got to eat it. You got to whoop it down.
I'm gonna need you to spoon some of this chili into your mouth.
No.
Maybe your baby's mouth today.
No.
Get your 2-year-old to eat some of this chili.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna have to call my mom and sister to come get some of this chili.
I'm cramming chili into the baby bottle.
Exactly. Come get chili.
What got into you? What made you think of doing this?
It's been cold. Chili's the perfect remedy for cold. I just cook too much. That's the problem.
I'm more of a normal stew guy. I mean, chili's good on a cold day too, but I like a good stew.
Well, that kind of came out as a stew. It is too watery also. You know what I'm saying? Like a chili shouldn't have that much liquid in it, which it does. And yeah.
Is your plumbing ready for this?
My gutty works.
Oh my god. $40 with the chili? And just on a whim? Oh, that's his new thing too. When he takes a sip of his little cold beverage there. I don't know what's gotten into him today, y'all. He's a real mess.
He's good stuff.
He's got no sleeves. So that's a mess. He hates all sleeves.
That's a given at this point.
Yeah, it's a given. So, what else? Anything?
I have nothing this week worth talking about.
We just been playing a lot of Destiny. I have, and I've been wrecking it. To be honest with you.
I'm getting tired of you acting like I haven't been playing that game. I've been playing the game. How many hours do you have in the game?
31.
31 hours.
32 hours.
Let's see. Let's just check mine real quick. What do you think? Over under 20 hours? Because you've been mocking me. So
you might be over 20 hours at this point. But alas, I'm unsure. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with it. I was starting to get kind of frustrated with it at first, and then it really started paying off. It started giving me some good drops. And
where the hell does it tell me how many hours I got in this thing?
Are you looking at the app?
Yeah. Well, I'm on the website. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about the website. Look at the app on my iPad.
Well, that's no good.
You'll have to look around and see. We have to get back to you on this if it takes a while for him to find it.
Well, what do you look at? Like, what do you click on the app that shows you? Like, it's a
Stats,
profile?
Stats,
eh?
Yep. It says I've got 1 day, 9 hours. So that's even more. What is that? 23? No, 33 hours?
33 hours.
Not bad. And I've got 7,901.
I've got 1 day, 3.5 hours. So
27.
I'm only like 6 hours behind you.
Yeah, not too bad.
So I told you I've been playing.
I think your legendaries are going to start to show up, and then you're going to be on the smooth road. But you need to do the dark below. But
I guess.
All right, so I think that's about it. I haven't seen anything really this week. I haven't watched anything. No trailers. Played some role playing games.
You saw an Ant-Man trailer?
I saw the Ant. Did you ever see it? I saw the Ant-Man trailer. I mean, I think Ant-Man's.
You're a big Paul Rudd fan.
I do like Paul Rudd, but I like him in a comedy setting, and he's supposed to be playing like a criminal in this. Like he's a criminal, and Hank Pym, is that his name? Mm-hmm. He's gonna like give this criminal his Ant-Man suit, and I mean it looks cool when he's on this flying ant. That's neat. When he's little and he's on the ant, but I think we're just gonna watch. It's pretty much Honey, I Shrunk the Kids meets Marvel movies, but it looks all right. But I mean, it's nothing to really freak out about. I mean, I wouldn't see people lining up the streets to go see.
I bet they'll reappropriate.
Ant-Man.
I bet they'll reappropriate that area of Hollywood Studios at Disney. They'll take the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids area,
they will.
and they'll just. We've already got a huge ant here. Let's just make an Ant-Man theme.
But isn't it Disney now?
That's what I'm saying. Disney already owned Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Now they have the Marvel property, so they'll just redo that part of their park.
It's a good idea.
And just turn it into their thing.
I'm certain Disney right now is listening to this, and they're like,
I'm sure.
They're like, we didn't think about that.
They're ABC's fierce listeners of us.
Well, I mean, we are the #1 Planet of the Apes podcast in the known universe. And
I'm gonna say the whole universe.
Well, and not to mention this whole time stream that we're in. So, and can someone submit that there's a better one out there? I don't think so. I think we're the best.
Oh, you know what we need to talk about is Magic City Con, which is next weekend in Miami. We're gonna go.
Okay.
They've got.
Did Trey? Somebody else showed
Someone sent us this. Yeah, it wasn't Trey. But somebody just sent us a link.
One of our new listeners.
Somebody just sent us a link, and I wish I would have known about it sooner instead of a week out. But the guy who played Lucius is going to be there. We need to kick his ass.
Yeah,
get
his ass. I throw a brick in his face.
The chick who played Nova is going to be there.
Yeah.
Your boy Ron Harper is going to be there.
No, that's worth the price of admission.
And Austin Stoker is going to be there.
I'd probably tear up a little bit in front of Ron Harper.
And yeah. Well, I told you I found Ron Harper's phone number.
What does that mean?
Legit. Like I found it
Explain.
on White Pages. Well, like what happened was this. I'm looking for him on Twitter, trying to see if he has a Twitter account.
Which I've already done.
He does not.
Correct.
But, so I was like, well, let me check Facebook. So I'm messing around on Facebook using my work login because we have a Facebook login at work. So I was like, well, I can search Facebook on here. So I'm searching Facebook. I find Ron Harper's page. Okay. Can't really find much about him, but it does have a link to his daughter's page. Like his daughter is one of his friends.
Okay.
So I look at his daughter's page. It says on his daughter's page where they're from originally. So I went, okay, well, let me just go to the whitepages.com. I was like,
you're a little sleuth.
I was like, I'm going to type in the city that it says they're from, and I'm typing Ron Harper. It has one listing, and it says the person is, like on the White Pages thing, it says 80 plus years old, and then it says known relationships, and it's got his daughter's name on there. It's got to be him.
I guess we're calling
his
him
actual
up.
phone number.
Are we calling him up right now?
Live on the podcast?
Live on the podcast. Saturday.
I think we seriously should call him and ask him if he would like to be on the podcast sometime. I mean, the worst he could say is no.
He could call me a meanie or a shithead or something.
I mean, he could, but I mean, I feel confident that that's really him, and I bet we could just call him up and ask him, like, hey, we have a podcast about Planet of the Apes. We're big fans.
He's not like, hello.
I mean, would you be interested in possibly being on our show? I mean, he's obviously still doing convention appearances, which I didn't know.
True.
Until we saw this.
Peter Mayhew can still be doing.
But I mean, I think we should maybe try to call him and see if he wants to be on the show.
We'll look into it. I don't know if I could contain myself around the Alan.
I tried doing the same thing for James Naughton. He's much more difficult to find. And the problem with James Naughton is that dude's like still winning awards, like Tonys, like because he's in musicals and shit. Mm-hmm. I mean, that guy's very active still. So I don't know about getting James Naughton or his contact information, unless Ron Harper might have contact information for him. But what are the odds that they're still friends like 40 years later?
I'm certain they are.
You think? 40 years later?
Didn't you see the bond they went through in the TV show? All that ape ass kicking?
I missed it. Let's watch the show over.
We will.
Now, let's skip the cartoon and go back to that.
No. Okay. We won't be doing that. We actually won't be going back to that for a very long time.
Well.
But we'll see. Well, let's get into this third episode. What do you think?
Let's do it. Okay. The episode is called The Unearthly Prophecy.
That's correct. And this is Return of the Planet of the Apes cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
So, it starts off with the army is in the desert. Urko's army. Correct?
It does.
He's saying that he's looking for underdwellers, which just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know why they're searching for these people.
Yeah. And Bill and Jeff, they've got their deluxe backpacks on. They've got their short shorts. They've got their tank tops. And they're looking for a new place for these humanoids to live. Because remember, the caves are all busted, I guess. Right?
Yep.
And so they're spotted by Urko. He has some incredible binocs. Okay.
They spot Bill posing.
Yeah, Bill is posing. He's putting out a vibe for Urko. And they don't spot Jeff because he's behind the rock. And so he's like, oh, great. There's those humanoids, the escaped astronaut humanoids, whatever. I guess he doesn't know they're astronauts, but escaped humanoids. We can beat their ass at the same time. Mm-hmm. And so that's going to be helpful. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, mountains start sprouting up out of the ground. Like these almost like pyramid-shaped rock mountains just pop up out of the ground here and there. Freaks everybody out. And you see a door opens in the ground, and there's like some energy come out of it. Obviously, it's some sort of man-made or person-made sliding mechanical door. And this energy blasts up into the sky. Now, at this part of the show, I'm thinking, well, I remember when we first watched it, I was like, oh, this is great. Here we go. We're going to get it. And, of course, they talk about underdwellers. Now, two things. I got to say, underdwellers is an awesome word. Or two words, I guess. That's just a neat way to phrase these people living underneath the planet, pretty much. And they call it the underworld, right? Or is it underworld? Or no, what do they call it? The place beneath?
New York City.
Yeah, well, it's New York City. I thought they called it something. It's
Mutant Town.
Mutant Town, USA.
Mutant City.
Yeah. But I just think Underdwellers is a neat name. And so the door opens up. They see it. Bill and Jeff, they take a look inside. This door that's opened up. And all of a sudden, after this energy's come out, the mountains start going beneath the ground again. And of course, Bill and Jeff are like, "Well, we got to go." Urko's there. It is. Jesus. Bill and Jeff, they're like, Urko's going to come get us. We've got to go underneath this. We got to go inside here to escape Urko. So they do. There's like a mechanized ladder that leads them down, which is very unsafe.
To me, what it looked like is like kind of like those buckets that scoop water, like conveyor thing, except it was running in the reverse direction.
And I mean, I don't know why it was there, activated, or convenient, but it helps. It helps them get down below.
Yep. So the whole trap seals up.
Yep.
And the mountains go back into the ground. And
they're both like, hey, there's ancient technology here, because you can see a bunch of techno-crud, is what I would call it. And they're like, this has not been made by apes, which I'm kind of like, well, how do you know? They've got a pretty well good civilization going. They've got artillery shells and internal combustion engines. Why wouldn't this be so far-fetched as well? But they don't think apes made it. And see, all of a sudden they see these ancient ruins. And this is the moment where Jeff and Bill realize this is Earth.
They've come home.
This is New York City. And
they see the public library.
Yep. And this is obvious, a straight take right out of Beneath the Planet of the Apes. All right? And I think it's fantastic shots, of course. Great art, the way it looks. And this whole episode is very much a throwback to Beneath the Planet of the Apes, obviously. So it's probably one of my favorite episodes of the show. So, continuing on. They realize it's Earth. It's their freak-out moment. And it switches back to Zira and Cornelius at the lab. And Zaius is there as well. And he's like, hey, Urko has spotted blue eyes out in the desert. Which, they got some good... I don't know what the point of that was. Why they would tell them. But whatever. But then instantly, Zaius gets a letter from Urko from this goon. And they're like, oh, the humanoids are in the possession of the underdwellers. So the underdwellers. And he's like, oh, I'll have to take care of this. Which I was like, what are you going to do about it? You can't do anything about this. What you going to do? So back to Bill and Jeff. They hear some footsteps. They duck into an ancient subway car. And this scene right here, I think, is just awesome. You got this ancient subway car. They see it, the way it looks. They hide. And all of a sudden, you see these cloaked figures. And these cloaked figures they're hooded. You can't see who these people are. And throughout this whole cartoon, none of them are ever unveiled. Nope. And it leads to a very cool mystery about it and a cool kind of secret society.
You said you heard footsteps. It literally sounded like somebody dumped potato chips on the ground, and that's what they were walking across.
Pretty much.
That's what their footsteps sounded like.
So they duck in this ancient subway car. They see these two hooded cloaked persons. They know they're not apes, but they're not sure that they're humans either. And they see these two people go through this door, and they follow them, and it's got like a button you push to open up the door. And inside they see a large power plant is what it looks like, you know. Which
is weird to me because the way the buttons were laid out that they hit is it looked like it was going to be an elevator.
Yeah, kind of.
It looked like an up and down button, but yeah, you're right. They hit a button and all of a sudden they go into a room that opens into this huge expanse with all this technology in it. Technocrud,
yeah, that's what it is. And, you know, it's some big generators, and it's a power plant, pretty much. All of a sudden, a bell rings, and you can see in this power plant there's many more of these hooded ones down there. That's what I'm going to call them, underdwellers. And they start all kind of chanting, USA, 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 USA. Okay. And they start all heading into a tunnel. Their hoods give them terrible peripheral vision, as they cannot see Bill and Jeff.
Standing right beside them.
And,
both in bright white pants.
Yes. And they go into a chamber where it's kind of like a cave, natural cave chamber. And there's a tree in a glass case. Looks cool.
That rises up out of the ground.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Which I thought the tree was USA at first. I thought that was going to be their name for it.
Yeah, okay. And it is explained here in a second, and I think that the explanation is awesome.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yep. So, Judy, it's awesome, and it's also extremely convenient, but all good.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, Judy is also standing there. They're like, hey, there's Judy! So, Judy's standing there, and there's another dude who's facing this group of hooded ones, underdwellers. And they're like, hey, Judy, it's us! And
that's where I have a problem.
Those people didn't do anything.
Yeah. I mean...
Well, someone's about to.
Hundreds of underdwellers around, right?
Yeah.
Like, they don't know anything about these people. They see Judy and they start screaming, hey, Judy!
Pretty ballsy.
Judy! It's us, Judy! And then all of a sudden, within a couple seconds, they're at the base of, like, the stage that she's up on.
Yeah.
At the foot of the steps, surrounded by these people.
They could have got jumped and ripped apart.
They could have instantly been killed.
They could have been cannibals or something. You know? Their butts could have been raped.
Bill and Jeff didn't care.
No, they didn't care. They saw Judy. They were happy that she was alive. And there's a dude standing beside Judy. He's obviously kind of the leader of this group. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I said, beside her is a dude that KOs their asses with eye beams. All of a sudden, like, these two laser beams come out of his eyes and knock their two asses out.
Cut to them just laying on the ground.
Yeah, they're knocked out. And now you're like, whoa! You know, this mug just pulled out straight Cyclops eyes on them. And I thought that was cool. To some degree. They come to, and the head mutant, who you find out his name is Krator. Pretty cool.
Good name.
Yep. He's the head mutant. pretty much. He says that they're a group of people who survived the Great War, the Great Fire, and they hid underneath the ground, and here they are. And they obviously, in my opinion, they've got their powers from radiation or some sort. So they're a kind of a take on the mutants from Beneath the Planet of the Apes with a more direct punch type of ability, but also the kind of the same ability from Beneath the Planet of the Apes, because they have the power of illusion that you'll find out later. So he tells you about the story about them. He tells them the story, and there's a bust of Judy. There's a stone bust of Judy. It says "Lost" on it.
Lost.
So yeah, doesn't say her name. Doesn't say her name.
Well, it says. Well, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. At the bottom it says USA, and so they think it says USA. That's her name, USA.
That's what I want, by the way, on my tombstone.
USA.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Lost.
Yeah. Lost. USA.
Okay.
Doesn't make any sense.
The story behind it is, obviously, whenever the astronauts didn't come back, there was a memorial for them or some sort of, ceremony, and they made a bust of Judy
with her amazing hair.
And they put it underneath the ground in this bunker.
Well, it wasn't necessarily under the ground.
Possibly.
I mean, we're talking. This was old New York City, so it could have been just in like a museum.
True, and someone got it and brought it there.
Possibly, yeah.
Very convenient.
Yeah.
For the one of the three people,
that came back,
that it wasn't destroyed or something.
It's incredible odds.
Yeah, and so they have it. But you know what? It's really, really cool that they see this bus, they see her, and they're like, we worship her, this is USA. And so, someone doesn't have their phone on vibrate, so he gets demerits for that.
Sorry, my bad.
And so it was, like I said, it was obviously made when they didn't return. They want to see Judy. They're calling out to Judy, and the whole time Judy's not saying anything to them, not acknowledging them whatsoever. They pull out. Damn, this new Jonathan is he's got to go. Hey ho, this new Jonathan's got to go. They pull out that ring for her sister.
We're not going to protest.
No, we're not going to protest. They're like, look, we got this ring for you, okay? So it doesn't really show anything about that. They're in a cell, and Jeff's like, well, there's no bars on this cell. Let's go. And Bill's like, hold on a second. And he throws a rock. It's a force field. So they've got power of force field. That's pretty good. And again, that reminds me of Conquest for the Planet of the Apes with the force field. Force field.
One of the mutants is going to be at that show, too, in Miami.
I saw that. So the head mutant, Krator, says that she fulfills a prophecy so that they can return to the green surface. Well, hey, dude, pick your head up out of that hole.
Yeah, because there ain't nothing green left.
Ain't no green up there. Now there is
Ape
green.
City's got green.
It's exactly what I was about to say. Ape City's got some green.
Not where they're living.
Yeah. Why are you underneath here anyhow? Like the upstairs is pretty good. Bill, Jeff, except for 38 Special, living in tunnels and stuff. But it's not that bad up there, pal. So Judy shows up and she's like, "Look, I snapped out of it whenever I saw that ring. I'm gonna spring you guys."
But Krator's powers are strong.
Yeah, she's like, "But it's gonna be tough because Krator's very powerful." So Judy drops a rock onto the power dish that they use to get the energy up out of that hole, and then she throws like a lamp down on top of it. She just was like throwing random
and that
shit.
Just blows shit up.
Yeah, that really screws some stuff up. And some of the other mutants are like, "Hey, you, stop!"
And keep in mind, "Hey, you, stop." It's gonna be the last thing you're gonna hear for a while. But we'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah. Kratos says that the place is in jeopardy. Okay. And he needs to activate the chair of power. And you see this chair, it's like an egg-shaped contraption.
It looks like something that they'd have in a beauty salon.
Yeah.
Where they bring down the dome to dry your hair.
Bill, Judy, and Jeff take off on what's in essence a minecart.
A flat one, yeah. Like one of those ones you would move like maybe railroad ties on or something like that.
Right. And there is a very long stretch of railroad underneath the ground, which after all these years, all these bombs going up, they must have fixed it. They worked on it. They fixed this railroad.
There's also a very long stretch of no talking coming up.
Well, it is an action scene, but we will speak about what you're speaking about, obviously, here in a second. There is scenes of mutants that are trying to blast them with their own I-beams. I've got it written here. Shitty aim. They take anywhere between 3,000 and 6,000 shots at them.
Well, I think what you need to realize is, although their aim was shitty,
yeah,
they really only misaimed about 3 times because we saw the same shot roughly 2,000 to 4,000 times.
Garbage aim is what I'm going to call it. They've got garbage aim.
It's a lot of recycled footage coming up, people.
Yeah, and I would say that this scene, when we first watched it, I was like, this is awesome. You've got Bill, Jeff, and Judy. They're on this cart. They're trying to escape this mutant underworld. You know, you've got all these mutants hiding behind these, you know, these cave walls and stuff. They're trying to blast them with their eye beams as they make this daring escape. And then all of a sudden coming up, I guess it's Krator starts using, like, illusions to try to fool them.
Yeah,
monsters,
like fire.
Yeah, like some sort of monster, a hole, like a, you know, like a crevasse, if you wish, in the ground.
To make it look like the railroad is...
They're going to go right down into a hole or something.
Yeah.
And so I'm just watching this, and I'm like, this scene is freaking awesome. Escaping this underworld, mutants with laser beams, dogs and cats living together.
Mass hysteria.
And this scene is so much reused footage. It's incredible. I remember the first time we watched it, I was like, holy crap, they're terrible shots. Because it was just scene after scene after scene of laser blast, miss, laser blast, laser. And I was like, my God. And this is another thing I'm thinking of. Okay, if I'm looking at you, it's painful, people. I'm going to let y'all know that now. I'm looking at Jonathan right now, okay? The bile's starting to come up a little bit. But I can see you. If I've got laser beams coming out of my eyes, I got a perfect shot. How do you miss with laser beam eyes? Tell me that. How do you miss with laser beam eyes?
Yeah, but you're looking here, right? You're looking at me. Right. If I dodge to the left, you miss me. Because you were looking here.
I guess it's kind
right?
of... It's like a...
I've dodged you, so...
It's a photo. Like I take a camera shot. And so, it's when the shutter goes, if you've moved out of the way, then the laser beam goes right past you.
I don't know.
I don't know. I was just like, how do you
it's
miss?
not like they're curving beams. I mean, they're still firing a straight shot.
If I was directing this, drawing this and everything, let Bill or Jeff get hit by one of these, just to see what happens. Just take it, knock one of them out. Action, more action instead of miss. I mean, I want one of these mutants to look around the other guys and be like, dude, man, what's with our eyes? They're really shitty. You're like, you can't hit anything, I can't hit anything. Why do we have this power? It's useless.
This escape scene, for everybody listening at home, was 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Why do I know it was 2 minutes and 12 seconds, Brandon?
Because you were doing your little stopwatch bullshit.
No talking.
It's an action scene. It doesn't need talking.
Not a bit of dialogue for 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
It's an action scene. Doesn't need dialogue. But it didn't need to be that long because they didn't need so much footage.
You didn't even have them talking. You didn't even have them talking to each other.
Yeah, no. They could have been
You didn't have them crying out.
Yeah, they could have been like, mutants, watch out.
Yeah, it was 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
Eat it, Joe's.
Music and eye laser blast sound effects.
Drink more Ovaltine.
So, yeah.
So, it is still a very cool scene. I've got here, Krator uses illusions to try to stop them, more bad eye shots, so many same shots, more missed shots. It's incredible. Their eyes are shit eyes, is what I'm going to say. Judy is weak, and she's like, I'm getting weak. And all of a sudden it shows her kind of go, blah, 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 like some energy or something's going around her. Krator's he's using the chair of power. And he's trying to use some mumbo-jumbo on her, try to get her. Okay. There's a hole, like we talked about, in the track of an illusion. Jeff breaks the brake with his massive strength, I guess. I don't know how you break a brake like that, but it's in good excitement.
Well, Short Round broke the brake.
That is true. That is true.
I mean, it could have just been an old car. It was an old car.
Oh, of course. It was very old.
2,000 years old.
Wall of fire illusion. And then all of a sudden, Judy's transported back to the mutant HQ.
Judy, don't go.
Judy! And by Krator. He doesn't want USA to go. Yep. Right? And so Bill and Jeff, they stop, they see a ladder, they climb up it. And you see more of the ruined city of New York. And, of course, I love those shots, And they find a cave leading out. It ends with a panning shot back, many panning shots in this, back to a parking meter. And it's a parking meter
that they tripped on.
Yeah, half submerged in, like, concrete dirt ground. Barely sticking up. And all of a sudden the little flag pops up that says, time expired.
Episode over.
So it's kind of a weird little take on the episode's over. Time expired, obviously. And time travel, somebody was trying to be clever. Not so clever. And that's the end of the Unearthly Prophecy. What are your views of it, Mr. Yawns?
Tank. Wasn't one of my episodes I care about.
You're shit.
Let me also go ahead and
I
say...
like the episode a lot.
By the way, my clock, final tally, 8 minutes of silence in the episode.
Action-packed scenes.
So that's a step up from where we were last week. Because I believe last week it was 4.5 to 5 minutes. So we're talking 8 minutes of no dialogue in like a 22-minute episode. We're talking 8 minutes of no dialogue.
How fast was the episode?
I don't think it went by that quick.
Okay. We all know in this podcast that there's one person that's kind of on the ball and the other one that's full of chili, yawning, has no sleeves, and is overall goofy. Now, I would say, and he does that bullshit there, I would say that this is probably one of the best episodes of the show. It's got my mutants in it. It's got the ancient history, the ancient world of New York, and I think it's fantastic. I think it's very breakneck speed. It explains about the Underdwellers. It explains about USA, about Judy, what happened to her, what's going on. It's a very meaty, exciting, adventurous episode. That's what I think. And I think the only one that's going to top this is going to be Monster Bird for me. So.
Really? Not the episode coming up where they're underwater?
Well, that one is pretty good, too.
Not the Snow Mountain episode?
That one is pretty good, too.
Those are episodes that I thought were good. This episode was ho-hum at best.
I like it a lot.
You love mutants, so you're impartial.
Well, and that's episode 3 of Return of the Planet of the Apes cartoon.
And that's episode 25 of Go Ape Podcast. So until next time, go Ape.
You son of a bitch, where's the back end? How much time we got?
We're at 40 minutes right now.
I guess Jonathan wants to end this, everybody. So if you don't like that, and you don't like him cutting off your... I know that y'all look for I know that there's people that look forward to this every week. It makes their Monday mornings when they see that there's a new episode. They're going into the drudgery of their jobs. They've got their iPhones, their Palm Pilots, and they're ready to listen to a new episode of Go Ape Podcast.
I wonder where the strangest place is people listen to our podcast. Like, is there anybody in a foreign country?
Yeah, like Kazakhstan.
Yeah, are you listening to us?
These guys are good guys.
As you work some sort of factory job?
It's nice.
Is there
Go Ahead Podcast is nice. I like.
Is there somebody
Borat?
Somebody only listens to us while they're on the toilet?
Well, I don't know why they would do only on the toilet.
Well, I don't know.
I can't listen to it anywhere else. I've got to be taking a dump.
Maybe that's what our podcast does to them. It loosens them up.
Yeah, I get some good movement on these guys. If I listen to all your bullshit.
Podcasts.
Can't believe you didn't like this episode. We'll be talking about this later. I don't know what you wanted more out of this episode. Like, it's one of the most action-packed episodes of the whole show. Mutants, freaking laser beams. All good. You didn't like it. No problem.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, plus, too, I think you're delirious. I can practically see the chili meat up in your eyes, and you're so packed full of chili meat. So, this guy's a joke.
That's very mean.
Oh, well. So... Oh, boy. I got ridiculed pretty good for my Jacksonville Jaguars pick from one Joe Grimm. Understandable. He said I was probably the only Jacksonville Jaguars fan in South Carolina. And we both admitted that we've never met a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. I was like, well, now you have. I'm the number one Jacksonville Jaguars fan. Born in the womb. I bleed stripes or some dots or some shit. I don't even know what their colors are.
It's gold and black.
I thought it was purple, too. Mm-mm. Weirdos.
Purple's those loser Ravens.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think they're winning right now, to be honest with you.
I don't really care.
Well, they're going up against the Patriots. That's a big game.
The Patriots.
Yep. Patriots.
And I'm sure the Panthers are demolishing the Seattle Seahawks.
Is that what they're playing today?
Yeah. And they won't be.
14-7. Subsequently and so forth. I watched some ESPN Sports Center about college football. And I watched it for I was getting my oil changed in my car, and I watched it for almost an hour. And you would not believe, and of course, I guess it's Oregon and Ohio State are playing for the national championship.
That's correct. Number 2 and number 4 seeds.
I would only know that because I watched that Sports Center, and it was literally an hour of like the same discussion for an hour, the same topics, the same different shows, all saying the exact same thing about each one's quarterback, each one's this and that, and I was like, just watch the game Monday night. Y'all don't need to be talking about this for... I'm certainly talking about it all day.
That's
like, who cares?
You know they're going to fill like 24 hours TV.
I understand, but I was like... They're not playing till tonight, by the way. Panthers.
Well, I know. Our sports guys in Seattle.
Oh, cool. And so, yeah, I was just like, okay, you got a strong quarterback. You think that Oregon is going to win. You think that Ohio State's going to win. Great. Why don't you just wait and see what happens Monday night, and then you can talk all about it. I don't think y'all's debating about certain stats and stuff. But I will give them this, okay?
They are the star.
They are the star. I'm going to give you that. The way that these anchors and stuff on ESPN and Sports Center for this college football, the way they're able to ramble off this information about the players and stuff, I got to give them kudos. I don't know how they're able to retain all that information.
Because think about it like this, dude. Think about how you are a huge nerd with role-playing games.
Right.
That's what they do.
I guess so.
They're huge nerds about sports. That's their thing.
They must really have to stay on top of that shit, like, constantly, to keep up with it. And to be able to remember it. I mean, when they're talking about a game that was halfway in the season against this team, and he put up this many yards and that many, I was just like, holy crap. I mean, unless they just really crammed right before the interview. But I was like, man, these people know their shit. But, yeah. So, I guess that's the champ. I guess they did the playoffs this year, right? Was that a big hit, or?
I mean, it only involved 4 teams.
Oh, that's bullshit, man.
Okay, it was Oregon against Florida State, and it was Alabama against Ohio State. Mm-hmm. And obviously, you know who won, because they're playing tomorrow night. The thing that take most out of it is Alabama, who was ranked number 1 in the nation, lost to the Buckeyes, who were ranked number 4.
But they've got like a really good coach. Is what they said on Sports Center. I know all about it now after enduring it. And my phone died when I was there. So
I'm just glad Nick Saban lost, because I hate him.
Don't know what that means.
He's the coach for Alabama. Mm-hmm. He was the coach for the Dolphins for 2 years, and he came in, he wrecked our team, and then left. Went back to college football. So I hate him, and I wish all bad things to happen to
Jeez,
Alabama.
That's terrible.
So there we go.
Bad things that happen to the team, or
yeah. Well, I mean, I just want them to lose. I don't want anything bad to happen to individuals. Well, I just hate Nick Saban.
Why?
I just told you. You're not even paying attention to what I'm saying. Like, you fucking get me to try to talk, and then when I talk, you're not even listening.
So, why do you hate him that much, though?
Because he came into the NFL as the Dolphins head coach.
Okay.
He wrecked our team with decisions he made.
So it was only him that did that.
He cut, like, number 1 draft picks that we had previously picked, traded them away, and then he quit being our coach after 2 years. Like, he came in, took people we had drafted first, traded them away, and then he was like, you know what, I don't want this job, I'm going back to college.
He's a real fly in the ointment.
Yeah.
Real wrench.
He was a real asshole. So, fuck Nick Saban. And I do wish bad things on him.
Okay.
So, fuck him.
Okay. Down with that guy.
Cancer of the penis.
Jesus!
That's what I want him to have. I don't want him to kill. I don't want it to kill him. I don't want it to kill him.
Just mess with his noodle.
I just wanted to make his penis fall off.
Don't say penis. I don't like that word.
Okay, I wanted
to make a dork, a goon.
I wanted to make his goon fall off,
or something else. I don't like that word.
I want his nards to fall off.
Yeah.
Wolfman's got nards.
His dork. I like dork, and that's from my heavy metal days. Maybe heavy metal looks down. I can't be around here with my dork hanging out. That's John Candy. Rest in peace.
Canadian bacon.
How many days? How long it's been since he died?
Early 90s.
It's like over 20 years.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Or maybe right at 20 years.
Something like that. Yeah.
I bet you he died in 94. I'm gonna call it 94 right now.
I'm gonna say.
What do you say?
92.
He died in 1994, March 4th.
I got it.
That was me.
Oh shit.
So coming up on 20 years, yeah, 20 years that Uncle Buck's been gone.
Chris Farley.
We're naming the year?
Yeah.
98. I know that for a fact.
Okay.
And the way I know that is, hang on, let me type it in just to see if I'm right. 97. Damn.
You blew it.
The reason I thought I knew that,
you should just lied.
I knew it was either 97 or 98 because in my stupid senior yearbook, it's got one of those things like things that happened the year we were seniors.
Yeah.
And one of them was Chris Farley being dead.
Oh, that's nice to put that in there.
But I guess that was early in the 97 part of our senior year versus 98.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was December 18th of 97.
Yeah, too bad. Oh, well.
You've seen a good-looking picture of him after he died, right?
I don't want to see. Let's not talk about that. You got... This is
What are you doing?
I'm looking at something. All right, so I got to come up with a song.
You do need a song.
I have no idea.
What did I close with last week? Oh, you wanted tattoo.
No,
tattoo.
you did tattoo.
Tattoo.
It's just called Tattoo. The song is called Tattoo.
But we're gonna keep saying tattoo.
The plan.
You said you couldn't get it out of your head.
Yeah, I hated Jonathan so much for playing that song. There was days later I was going tattoo. I was like, tattoo. You're such a shitty song and you're stuck in my head. Oh, I'm gonna come up with something pretty good.
What, dude? Mustang Sally, Tramp Stamp Jane.
Oh, okay.
You go from housewife to bombshell.
All right, so we got a song coming in. There it is. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of early, but that's fine.
That's all right. Yeah, I gotta run.
Now look who has things to do.
Well, I'm an important person. Savage GM on Twitter.
Ape Randall at Twitter.
Go Ape Podcast on Twitter.
Yep.
And you can please leave a review on. If you're listening to this, just go on iTunes and leave a darn review, please. I like seeing it. It makes me smile.
5 banana review.
We'll go ape if you give us a review.
Yeah, we may even read your review on the air.
We will read your review if you do a written one. I don't care what it says.
Yep.
If you want to do shouts out to your family or something, that's fine. So that's Go Ape Podcast. That's the episode 3 of the cartoon. I'm going to go ape.
25 episodes in the can, so I'm going ape.
Go ape.
The count goes on. 4, 3, 2, 1. Earth below us, drifting, falling, floating, weightless, calling, Second stage is cut. We're now in orbit. Stabilizers up. Running perfect. Starting to collect. Requested data. What will it affect when all is done? Things may